Good morning, everyone. Well, my ugly mug on screen again. This year is not going at all as I'd hoped. Remember all those lovely videos I did last year? Well, you might not think they're lovely, but I'm thinking in terms of the sunrises. I had some really nice sunrises last year. Almost every week I went out and it was bright, crystal clear. Oh, this year's been totally different. I haven't been able to get out anywhere near as much as I would like. So my grand project at the moment seems to be, although I said initially I might not complete it this year, I've still got an outside hope that I can. I'd like to get it done this year. But we'll just have to see how things go. So I thought I might slip this little extra bit in just to let you know how things are going and what the plans are and what have you. Now, also, my humble little channel has now got up to 99 subscribers. Just need one more to make the 100. Which doesn't seem an awful lot in the grand scheme of things, but for somebody like me who really only started this as a little piece of amusement for my grandson, I didn't realise at the time that actually going out and doing it would be good therapy for me for a number of reasons, and actually would reinvigorate my interest in my photography and videography hobby. So it's been good from that point of view, but I'm very humbled that 99 of you out there have chosen to subscribe, because I'd like to think, with such a small number of subscribers, I would like to think that those who do subscribe are people who actually do like what I do. I mean, you look at the bigger channels, thousands of people subscribing. It's part of the money making machine. I don't make money, so therefore I don't care. Even if I've got 40 subscribers, if those 40 people like what I do, I'll carry on. It benefits me, it benefits you, and at least, touch wood, so far, adverts and the messy subject of money do not come into it, and will never come into it as far as I'm concerned, though perhaps we'll all be forced to have adverts at some time. That's something which will be out of my hands, but all the while I'm not making any money. I don't want to make any money. I don't want the adverts. They're horrible. So that's where I am at the moment. Excuse me, scratching my head a bit. Now, where is my project? I had this idea last year. I was re-listening to an old album by The Nice called Five Bridges. And I was looking on the map and thinking, the River Brede has got 5 bridges. Perhaps I could make a little video called 5 Bridges of the Brede or something like that. When I thought about it a bit more, I thought, well, hang on a second. The Brede flows into the Tillingham, and then the two combined flow into the Rother, and so there are 3 rivers flowing out to the sea at Rye. So I thought, how about making a project, the search for the bridges of the 3 rivers of Rye? That is where the main project this year developed from. However, and it's a good job I did start with the Rother, I decided I would start with the Rother and work my way back to the Tillingham and finally the Brede. What I didn't realise was how much more involved the project would become from just taking a walk around a bridge. Oh yeah, look at this, look at that, look at something or the other. Because even though I don't set out to make my videos history lessons, as it were, I do like, where I can, maybe to do a bit of initial research to back up my own personal knowledge, and just try and present a few basic facts and figures so you can have a closer look yourself, or visit the area. But as I've gone further along the Rother, the history of the Rother itself has become such a complicated thing My latest video that was out last week, where I actually take the time to stop at the Blackwall Bridge and explain, try and get it all out in a nutshell, turned out to be about a 15-minute nutshell. Once again, I have to apologise if that bored the pants off you, but believe you me, there were two things at play there. Firstly, I don't work to a script. I do my little light research to start with. I make a few notes and I look at them over a few days before I go out. But basically, when I'm out, what I say is what comes into this noggin of mine, and hopefully I get it in the right order, not all the time, and then I have to correct it later. I am genuinely surprised at what I said in that time on that last video. How all that came together in my brain, I have absolutely no idea. But it's out there now. But that isn't half the history. So do look for yourselves into the River Rother. There's an awful lot more to see and an awful lot more to find out. I can only hope that I've given you a taste of what the river's like on good and bad mornings. And I would have been out there this morning on the Tillingham, but at 4:30, as well as being dark, it was also wet, and so not a suitable morning once again to go out filming. So fingers crossed for Wednesday. The weather's looking much better. I'm hoping, although I don't like going midweek because of the commuters and everything. Sunrise is not till 6 o'clock now, so it's about 5:30 now when there's first light. So and I've got to be excuse me, about 25 miles from home by first light. So I'm hoping 5:30 Wednesday morning I'll be at the source of the Tillingham. We'll see how that goes. I'm determined to finish this series this year. I've finished with the Rother so far at the Scots Float Sluice. I'm going to try and get the 6 little bridges on the Tillingham in all in one go, which then leaves the bit of that in Rye to do. And then I'll move on to the Breed, and I'll start with Selscombe and a look at the village as well, which is really, this is how it's evolved, because it's not just the bridge. Is there anything interesting at the bridge, near the bridge? What village does it serve? On the Tillingham, it ain't going to serve anything, so you'll just see little bridges and a lot of countryside because it's in one of the most rural areas of East Sussex. The Breed is another one of them rivers that again was a navigable river. It had a commercial purpose, and I'll tell you a little bit about what went on in Breed and Selscombe, and then we'll move on into Winchelsea, which I've actually covered before, so it'll just be a fleeting glimpse at the bridge over the main road in Winchelsea. And then finally I'm hoping to get into Rye early one morning, and I'll bring all the 3 rivers together in one final episode in Rye, and hopefully finish out at what is now the new Rye Harbour. I say new, it's been there donkey's years, but I'm hoping to finish out at Rye Harbour itself, where you see where the whole lot actually almost meets the sea. I can't quite get to the main bit. It's a bit involved getting there, but that's how I'm hoping I can pan this out, and I'm hoping to do it in about 4 or 5 more sessions, which will take me through September. It's been a bit awkward too because I've been busy at the railway. I've been doing 2 days a week, sometimes 3, working at the station, so not a lot of time to get out, but that's what I'm planning anyway. So please bear with me, and I know that a few people are enjoying this little series, and I'm enjoying making it, but I get a bit down and a bit depressed when the weather's been so, I'll call it claggy this year. It hasn't benefited those of us that have a little bit of SAD at all, even during the summer, so there you go. So what of next year? Well, I've no idea. I've had a couple of requests to go and do parts of Eastbourne that I haven't covered yet, and I hope I'll be able to go and do them. During the winter I'm going to do the same as I did last year. I've got footage from my summer excursions to the northwest coast of Wales, so looking at the Llŷn Peninsula, Abermawr, and a visit to the Festiniog and the Welsh Highland, the Talyllyn railways. The main problem with them, unfortunately, was that I used my other camera, and I didn't discover till I got home there's a fault with the other camera. So all the film that I thought I took with that doesn't exist. So disappointment there. And some of it, again, of course, being on a coach tour, is video taken through the window of the coach, and I still don't really know yet how much of it will have to be edited out. So what kind of programs I shall make, I don't know, but that's my project through the winter, is to get that into some kind of format and put it out as programs for you. But I will say that one of the highlights of my holiday was, I haven't got it down here, was being number 6 for the day on a visit to Port Marion. And that was something else, actually walking where the prisoner walked, and well, you'll have to wait for the video for that. But going back to next year, I did have a thought coming down the other day, back through Battle, that perhaps I ought to visit some of those little villages around here that you might have heard the name in passing, you might not have heard the name, and they may be not even villages, maybe just hamlets, but they're down in those little places that are hard to reach, off the beaten track, but might have a little bit of history to them. I don't know, that's basically what I've got in mind for next year. I'm not going to do another river project. The Three Rivers of Rye, I think, is quite a unique one. So much history and everything entwined in all of that. I think it was well worth doing. I'm glad I made the decision. Silly me in a way, because it has turned out to be more complicated and involved than I thought. But if you're enjoying it, then that's lovely, and thank you very much. So, hoping to get out Wednesday to the Tillingham. Next Monday we have another video coming out from this channel, which will be the last, as I say, in the time being on the Rother. It takes us all down to Iden Lock and the Scots Float Sluice. And there's a couple of interesting things to see on that particular video as well, aspects of the river that I didn't even know about, but quite fascinating. So hopefully you'll be watching out for that next Monday, and I will continue to try and get a video out each fortnight as we go along, because I think if you get them out regular, people appreciate that. I don't do enough to do once a week. I'm not even going to try to, because I think that's just too much for me, and probably for you as well with my voice. So once a fortnight, hopefully I've got enough to see me mostly through the winter. And once again, thank you very much indeed to those that are subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, I'm not asking you to do it. You don't have to. It's only for the algorithm with YouTube, as I understand it. Even though I'm not getting paid for my channel, the more likes and the more subscribers you have, the more your videos get introduced to other people. And I would like to think that there are those out there in the wider YouTube world that might just have an interest in the kind of thing that I do. Yes, it's amateur. I'm proud of that. I do try and use my editing software to make it a bit more interesting here and there, to polish it up a little bit, but it's basically warts and all. You're coming out for a walk with me or a ride with me. I say it as I see it, I say it as I know things about it, and you get it warts and all, take it or leave it. That's how I do it. So, as number 6 used to say, I'll be seeing you.